Yeah. Hey guys, what's up, bullets? Welcome to my channel.
I guess we are ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not talking about JoJo Siwa enough.
We should stop talking about JoJo Siwa.
You're right, actually.
Look at what she's doing to herself right now.
We should.
It's only because we drove her that
Well,
far.
actually, I don't think anyone's talking about JoJo Siwa. I think JoJo Siwa's talking so
attention.
much about herself that we're all just like here. Talking about, well, we're not talking about JoJo Siwa. I'm not talking about JoJo. I'm watching JoJo Siwa.
I was just watching my TikTok For You page always shows me like dance moms compilations.
Yeah.
And there was one last night where Kenzie's talking about like being a tapper. Like she's like, oh yeah, I'm like actually very advanced at tapping. And JoJo's like, you are? And it was like kind of aggressive.
Well.
And Kenzie was like, yeah, I am. Like I'm a tapper.
Are you jealous?
And JoJo's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a very high strung personality.
Yeah.
So.
What's her star sign?
Which is why I'm almost like confused.
It's probably
I don't know. It's probably a Capricorn, is it not?
It's probably because her hair's tied back so tight, you know?
Yeah.
That would stress me out too. You think she's a Capricorn?
Yeah.
She's not.
Gemini?
She's a Taurus.
Whoa, that's like the last sign I would think she is.
But Taurus woman.
Okay.
I do think that kind of adds up.
I think I only know one Taurus woman.
Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
Katie.
So I don't really have.
Katie.
Okay. I don't really have a gauge on Taurus woman, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like what's happening with JoJo Siwa right now.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
That specifically.
Yeah. Is that a teaser for something?
What's happening here?
Did you see her cover of Traitor by Olivia Rodrigo?
Sure did.
Yeah. Hello? Why are there always noises coming over there? From over there? A buzzing sound.
That is interesting. It sounds like construction.
Anyways, how was your day?
It was fine. It was actually fine.
Mm-hmm.
The weather's pleasant today. I feel like I was a little, like, I'm wearing yellow. I feel like I was kind of chipper because I'm wearing Alison De Laurentiis Disappearance Yellow.
Is Alison De Laurentiis, is she in High School Musical or is she in Camp Rock?
No.
What's her name in Camp Rock? Why does it sound like that?
Tess Tyler.
Somebody's name is that.
Alison De Laurentiis?
Yeah.
No, it's just Alison De
I'm
Laurentiis.
like, that's a Disney Channel girl.
No, it's Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she's the one that, well, she disappears in that yellow top.
Okay. Got
you
it.
know, in the first episode, the yellow ruffle top. You know what
Got
I'm
it.
talking about? You
No.
probably don't, because
No,
I feel like
'cause
you
I-
don't know PLL like that.
I don't watch
I'll show
it.
you.
Yeah. I watch very much
Alison
bits and pieces of
De
PLL.
Laurentiis. Honestly, we should watch that show because I think you would be
I
thoroughly
won't.
entertained by that one.
I mean, I will, but I will never
You would
watch
be
that
shocked.
show.
Okay, so this is what she's wearing the night she disappears.
Got it.
Which is why I keep calling this Alison De Laurentiis.
Got it. I thought that was like a
Disappearance
designer or something.
No.
I was like, Alison De, like cool.
Yellow. Oh,
like
Alison
okay,
De
Ralph
Laurentiis,
Lauren.
like-
Yeah.
No, this is Karen
Okay,
Scott.
Ralph. Okay, Karen Scott. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Which is also the name of the mom in One Tree Hill. Like, her name is literally Karen Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's Lucas Scott's mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a very basic name. So
I know.
I
But
imagine
still,
there's
like, that's crazy. Every time I
At
put on this
least-
sweater, I'm like, oh, Karen.
at least 1 million Karen Scotts in the world.
Probably a lot, yeah.
What do you think is the most common name in the world?
Hannah, Emily, or Olivia?
No, like first and last.
Oh! Oh, it's
Like,
probably like...
Combo.
It's probably like
I would say like Sarah Miller.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say like Kevin Nguyen.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Or like...
Definitely Kevin Nguyen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going with the Sarah Millers, the Kevin Nguyen's. Maybe throw Sanchez in there. Like, I see a lot of that.
Yeah. I was going to say like Hannah Smith.
Yeah. Smith. Lots of Smiths.
Lots of Jackson.
I love the Smiths.
Lots of Jacksons, I think.
Mhm. Yeah. Don't know what that's like.
Don't know what that's like. There's like literally 4 Erin DeVilbises out there, and I could find all of them.
No, I don't think there's another person that has my name out there. I think there might be one. Yeah, there's one, and it's my aunt.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, are they related to you?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no.
But also, speaking of origins, we need to break down the Ohio diaspora.
Oh, we do need to talk about
Because-
the Ohio diaspora. I think everyone in the United States, if not further, has at least one connection to Ohio. Either knows someone from Ohio, has family from Ohio, has family who once was from Ohio, or has, I don't know. Everyone's just tied to Ohio in some way.
Yeah, I found out that I have family in Ohio like a month ago.
That's so crazy.
Like, Joswickies are in Ohio.
Like, you already had the Ohio connection and then you got another one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like...
My bloodline's there.
It just feels like for me, and like maybe it's just because I notice it, but I don't know if you get this with Arizona. I just feel like whenever I'm like meeting someone new for the first time and I like in Ohio comes up, they're like, oh, my like grandma's from Cincinnati. Like, oh, my cousins are in Cincinnati. Oh, no way. Like, my boyfriend's family lives in Cleveland. It's always
like
there's
a sprout.
Always. And they're like, oh, Ohio, like, do you know so and so? And like a good portion of the time I'm like, I do know so and so.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, let me look them up on Instagram and we have mutuals.
Everybody's from Ohio.
Everybody's from Ohio.
Yeah.
That one meme where it's like where it's the two astronauts and like the continent is Ohio and they're both wearing their things and they're in space, and the one's like, it's all Ohio, and the other one is like, always has been.
Yeah.
You know that meme?
No.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah. But my dad was telling me that his great grandpa, when they came here from Poland, his great uncle moved to Ohio and his great grandpa moved to New York. Yeah. Yeah. So both sprouts ended up in the United States, but there's like one sprout in Ohio.
One pocket in Ohio.
One in New York.
Well,
I come from the New York one.
It's nice.
Because I'm cool.
Yeah. It's a nice place to settle. It's a lot of serial killers.
Yeah.
Well, lots of serial killers.
Leading with lots of serial killers.
So
okay.
It's fun, entertaining place to live. It's cheap. It's a cheap place to live. They've got the 3 C's. They got Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, all off of I-71. You can practically do the whole state. This needs WD-40 real bad. And there's lakes. There's lots of lakes. If you live up by Lake Erie is so big that it looks like the ocean. So it's like kind of
you're
the
basically
ocean.
at a beach.
Yeah, you like kind of have a beach.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like lake living, I feel like.
Yeah, I love lakes.
Lots of forest and also lots of fields. Like,
wait,
you got a variety.
Yeah. I wrote down the cedar bog story that you had, and I want you to tell that because, girl, that's scary. I would never be in that position. Ever.
No, yeah. Okay, so cedar bog. Let me walk you through, because the lore with the Midwest is obviously that there's just not very much to do, therefore you make your own trouble. And I feel like that's why like TV shows like Stranger Things and like movies are always set in the Midwest, because there's like not enough distraction to not be getting into shenanigans. So one of the shenanigans...
It's like Riverdale.
Yeah, exactly. So like one of the shenanigans that me and my friends were getting up to at the time was there's this place called Cedar Bog. It is between like Springfield and Urbana, and it's a bog, and basically there's
What's a bog?
Well, a bog is kind of like a swamp.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a swamp. Lots of trees,
Bonk.
and it's wet and like swampy, but like less humid. Like it's not like Florida swamp or like Carolina swamp.
And a swamp isn't very deep, right? Like it's like shallow.
Yeah, I think it's pretty shallow because
Yeah.
like trees are growing in it.
So a swamp is
Let me
like,
look up swamp versus
I know
bog.
what a
Like,
swamp
let me
is.
Be serious.
Yeah, no, let's be serious. I want to know what the difference between a bog and a swamp is. Like, I know what a swamp
Swamps
is.
have more trees and woody stem shrubs. Bogs begin as shallow ponds that slowly fill with rotting leaves and plants.
Ew, okay. So, but it's still,
So a
is it
bog-
still mulchy? Like squelchy?
Definitely squelchy. It's
Yeah,
wet.
it's wet.
It's
Okay.
wet.
Yeah.
It's definitely wet.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, a bog is acidic. And a swamp has more vegetation that's trees and plants.
Yeah.
A bog is kind of like, I feel like it's kind of muddy
Yeah.
and like decaying.
Mm-hmm. Less water. Swamp is more water, I would say.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
It's both still wet.
I'm not an I don't know the environment. Like, I don't know.
Breaking down the bogs
I
and
don't
the
know.
swamps.
I don't know my environment like that.
Bog ladies.
Women of the bog.
Yeah.
It's very Ethel Kane.
Portrait of the bog.
Bog, you know?
Yeah.
That feels like her place
Yeah,
to
she
be.
should write about bogs.
She should.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Ethel, if you're watching. Write about bogs now.
Write a song about a bog, or like meeting the love of your life at the bog,
Or like
having sex near the bog.
Or like somebody dumping your dead body in a bog.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Cannibalism at the bog.
So
Snow on the beach. It's the same thing.
cannibalism at the bog. Okay, so Cedar Bog. I'm like going all the way back to that. Cedar Bog, was a good distance outside of Springfield, at least how I felt at the time. So like when we first got our licenses, obviously you weren't supposed to like leave Springfield. Like that was the whole like rule, at least for my family, was like you can't leave Springfield. Cedar Bog felt like an exception. Like it was like definitely not in Springfield, so it felt like you were kind of rebelling, like you were breaking some rules, but it wasn't so far that if your parents called you and they were like, get home now, you couldn't get home. So we would always go at night, and the thing about Cedar Bog is it's one way. So if you look on a map, you have to go in from the main road, and then it's a one-way kind of like square, and then you loop back to the main road. So we always went at night, and you would go one-way road, and basically as you're driving into it, it starts like kind of neighborhoody, and then you go up this hill where there's like a train track, and some of the lore was that like when you were going up the hill, like when you came back down, you would see headlights coming towards you, which like you wouldn't because it's a one-way road, but that was kind of always the like, if you're going down Cedar Bog at night, like you'll see headlights coming at you. That never happened to me.
Ghost headlights.
Ghost headlights. Then you go back down, and then you go into the bog. Once you get into the bog, it's chain link fence on both sides, high. And it's a narrow road where bog is on other side of it. And basically what would happen, Ryan was usually the person who was driving. I'm like, can I use people's names? Whatever. Ryan was usually the person
Ryan is the most generic name ever.
You're right.
So.
Ryan was usually the one driving, like, at least in my memory, I remember, like, if I was not in the passenger seat and I was in the back seat, Ryan would be the one driving. And what he would do is he would drive down it, he would roll down all the windows, which it's nighttime, so this is, like, fucking scary, because you're thinking in your head, like, anybody could, like, reach in and grab you, rolls down all the windows, and then he would turn off his headlights and just drive straight at, like, 5 miles per hour. It was scary enough in the car, but then every once in a while he would be like, get out and walk. And you would have to get out and like walk beside the car or like behind the car as he went through it. I don't think I ever got out when Ryan was the driver, but I always remember sitting in the back seat and being like, I want to be in the middle seat because I do not want to be on the edge with the window all the way down in the dark like that. Also because like once the headlights were off, you're like out in the box.
What does it look like when you look through the window that's rolling down? That's down.
Well, it's dark. If his headlights are off, it's nothing.
Like you don't
it's
see
like
anything.
Black.
Do you see the trees?
No.
You don't see anything.
It's dark.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's dark. So when the headlights were on, you could see the chain link fence, and then you could kind of see the bog beyond it, but that was it.
Ew.
Yeah, scary. Then there was another time. So when you come out to the other side of the bog, there was one sign that had a bajillion bullet holes in it. And I don't know if that was just like from hunters or like what the situation was, but I always remember like vividly picturing that sign and it having all these bullet holes in it.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying. And then once you're out of the bog, it becomes cornfield on like one side, like huge cornfield, and then out in the distance there's like some woods. And so one time Jocelyn was driving. Jocelyn, I'm putting you on blast because your behavior was weird that night. Weird.
Jocelyn, weird. I would do what you did.
You were
I'm
wrong.
here to defend you.
You were wrong for this.
No, girl. Bitch, get out of the bog. Get away from the bog.
So there's one night, Joss is driving us out to the bog, and for some reason, like, I don't know what kind of adrenaline the group was on, but we were like, let's get out. Like, let's get out and frolic around. And it was dark, like, moonlit. That was it. Like, you could only see things by the moonlight. And so Joss parks the car. All of us get out except for Jocelyn, who stays in the car. I don't think she actually gets. I don't remember her actually getting out at all.
Yeah.
And we just we book it like on foot through the cornfield towards the woods. I don't know what came over me in that moment. Like, this is so like not something I would do today. But at the time I was like, this seems silly. But then I was paralyzed with fear. I remember at one point, like, I literally like got down on like this because I was terrified, and BP like had to like drag me because I could not move. I was paralyzed with fear of being out in the dark like that. Anyways, Jocelyn left, and because it's a one-way road, if you
I wouldn't have left, but I wouldn't have gone.
Well, Jocelyn,
I would have just stayed in the car.
She pieced out, ditched because we wouldn't get back in the car, and so she was like, bye, and I was like, gagged.
You guys are fucked up for leaving her though.
Well, she was in the car. She had the protection of the car.
That's true, I guess. But still.
So Joss leaves, and because it's a one-way road, that means you have to go all the way back in a whole circle to get back to where we were. So we were just stranded out in the middle of this cornfield dark of night, moonlight only, like probably just my phone, and like I don't know what service was like there. I don't think it was great. Jocelyn came back, we like lived to tell the tale. But that was the one time that I was like out in the bog at night by myself with with a few other people, but like without an escape route. Like fully.
Did you go into the cornfields?
Yeah, we went, like, we were out in the cornfields going towards the woods. Like, if you ever played Slenderman, like, that's what the setting looked like, except no flashlights. Because I think this was iPhone, like, pre-flashlight, too.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember before there was the flashlight feature?
What year was this?
Like, there was always flash, but I don't think there was, like, the
that was definitely iPhone 6 territory.
Right?
Yeah.
So this was probably 2015? No. Yeah. 15? Probably 2015 when we were doing all this. So yeah, you were just kind of like out there by your lonesome, like trying to figure it out.
No, thank you.
Terrifying times. It was like Slenderman in real life. But yeah, so
I got
fun.
into this rabbit hole recently on TikTok, like a couple weeks ago. Somebody sent it in our college group chat, college girls, our group chat, and somebody was like, it was just a TikTok about people raving in the Paris catacombs. Have you seen that at all? The Paris catacombs.
Paris, like Paris, France?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Do you know anything about the Paris catacombs?
Is it? No. Is it like, I mean, I'm assuming it's just like underground.
Yeah. Well, like
tunnels.
I had to do some research on it too, because I went into like a deep dive and I was like, this is fucking scary. First of all, the TikTok video was like this really eerie rave sound, and it just showed very short clips of people walking through and contorting themselves like underground.
Oh, absolutely.
And trying to get into the catacombs and like climbing through these rocks and like crawling under things. And there's like bones on the wall.
Oh no.
There's skulls everywhere. There's
what
like
kind of
dirt,
skulls?
like real skulls. Like no, human skulls, because it's catacombs. It's like 6 million people were buried in underground in the catacomb. Like it was like a burial in the 1700s or something. And it's just like a maze, like a labyrinth of a grave underground. And there's certain pockets of the catacombs where there's like larger rooms, but it takes, it's like very, very difficult to get to. And like you have to crawl through tiny spaces. You have to remember exactly where you went.
Okay, so listen, I hate that. But there is a part of me that could definitely be peer pressured into doing that.
Ooh,
like, there's just something about, like, there's not...
I need to show you the video.
I'm not the person who volunteers to do that kind of stuff. But, like, if I'm with a group of, honestly, like, you put me in a group of more than 6, and there's someone that's like, let's do it, and it's late enough in the day, I could be peer pressured into anything.
Yeah, dude, no. I would never do that, like, because it just looked terrifying. And I think there's like a horror movie about the Paris catacombs, and it's just like a group of tourists like going down, and then obviously it going to shit. And I was reading the comments, and somebody was like, I've been watching horror films for 10 years, like, and I'm a horror film junkie. This is the top 5.
Scared.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like,
well, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't do it now. I don't really like doing things that are like illegal. Like if I could get in trouble, that like stresses me out.
Yeah.
But if it's like kind of like a thing, like if there's a lore around it, I'm kind of like down.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that like we used to play hide and seek in a cemetery?
Okay. I think a little bit, actually.
Like that's one of those things where I'm like, I don't like it. Like I don't like it. I'm anxious.
Yeah.
But also I'm kind of having fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't think I would do that. Like I love going to like the show at the cemetery at the Hollywood. The Hollywood Forever. I'll do that. I'll hang out in a cemetery. I'll have fun. I'll like listen to art, watch a film in the cemetery. But like I'm not doing anything scary surrounding it.
Yeah.
I'll play hide and seek in a house. Not the cemetery.
God. We used to play Ghost in the Graveyard or Sardines or hide and seek at my church growing up. I don't remember if we drove past my church when you were in my hometown. It's like a huge building, like super ornate, very old, and definitely freaky. And I don't know, there's some little part of me that's like kind of has fun getting scared.
Yeah. And
so there were parts that I would like know were very scary, and I would intentionally hide in those places knowing that no one else would go look for me there because they were scary.
No. Yeah.
And like I kind of would psych myself out, but like it's a little thrilling.
Yeah. I don't like participating in scary things. I don't like horror films. I'll watch disgusting, gory things, but anything paranormal, no, I won't do.
I don't really like, I don't know, I don't gravitate towards it, but once I'm in the zone,
yeah, you like get locked in.
I'm kind of like, I'm having fun right now.
Yeah.
Same with like a haunted house. I'm not gonna be like, let's go to a haunted house or like do a haunted hayride. But there was one year where I did go to like basically like not scary farm, but in Ohio, and I had like the most fun because I feel like there's like a line, especially at something like that, where I was like, I'm scared going into it, but then at one point I get to the like, I get past it and I'm like, my intention is no longer to get scared, my intention is to scare the scarers.
Yeah.
And once I'm there, I'm having too much fun.
Yeah,
and
that sounds fun.
Then that's where I was.
I would go to like Universal scary horror nights with like a larger group of people. I would definitely do that, but like it
needs to be like a large group though.
Yeah,
that's when I'm having
like
fun.
I can't go with like my 2
3
besties.
friends.
Yeah,
absolutely
large group of people, it needs to be silly. But I attempted,
like I need to be there with goofs.
Yeah, I attempted to go to Fear Farm my sophomore year of high school, and this is like a little at home, like local Fear Farm, whatever, same thing as the horror nights that Universal does, but like small town scale in the cornfields of Arizona or whatever. And then like
they got corn there?
Yeah, they do.
Dang.
We were in line and we waited in line for like an hour and we got dropped off. My friend Angela's mom dropped us off and we were like waiting in line for a very long time, and there was like the scary figurines, like the people that were already in hair and makeup and like all that stuff, like with the chainsaws, like giant pig head people.
I just don't like being touched. And
they would go up to the people that were waiting in line and like scaring people in line. And Sophie and Angela were kind of like looking at each other like so funny. Like we were all kind of silent while we were waiting in line because we were like, do we want to do this? Like we were all talking, but we were avoiding the fact that like we all kind of didn't want to do it. Yeah. And once we got to the beginning, we were like, none of us want to do this.
Did you leave?
Yeah, we left.
That's so funny.
Angela called her mom and was like, never mind. Yeah, like, can you pick us up? Like, this is not the vibe. So
I remember the one vivid memory of being at Kings Island Fear Fest was there was one haunted house that was like Alice in Wonderland themed, and I've always been terrified of Alice in Wonderland.
Really?
Like, since I was a kid, I've always been scared. Honestly, to this day, I'm still scared. Like I haven't even watched the movie.
Really?
I don't think I
what about it?
I really, the like Queen of Hearts or whatever.
No way.
She really freaks me out. I've had nightmares about her, like the whole situation.
Whoa.
Maybe I could watch it.
I kind of love that movie.
Maybe I could watch it. I don't know. I just haven't ever tried because I've always been scared of Alice.
Is it the cartoon or the live action that scares you?
The story.
Everything?
Like the story scares me.
Whoa.
I don't know. But there was one haunted house that was like Alice in Wonderland themed, I think. I kind of can't remember. But I remember at one point where I was walking through it and I came up to a hallway and it was a long hallway and I fucking knew. Like when you know when you're in a hallway in a haunted house and it's long and narrow.
There's gonna be something.
And basically down the hallway there was like a statue like every 3 feet or something. And I was like, I know one of these bitches isn't a statue. Like I know for a fact it's not a statue. And it was strobe lights. So you know how like when it's strobing in the dark part you can't see anything? And as I'm walking down the hallway, I was like, I know one of these statues is going to be it. And there was like a flash of the strobe so I could see everything in order. And then it went dark. And then on the next strobe, the statue was like in front of me. No. And I was like, it's over. Like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. But that night I was kind of like I was in a vibe. It was like, there was 8 of us and I think it was 2 like couples and I was stuck with like the group of like the single guys and me. I don't even remember who it was with totally, but I remember I was like, I felt a little bit rowdy because I was with a group of guys. And anytime someone was trying to scare me, I would try to scare them back, and like that became the plot of the evening. And it was then it was fun, but it was. Yeah. I don't like a strobe situation where like someone's here and then next thing you know they're right here.
I do not fuck with jump scares.
Is there any horror type media that you've enjoyed?
People say like Midsommar was awful and they thought that was the scariest movie ever. I never watched that because
I'm scared.
It's not scary.
What would you compare it to?
It's just...
Is it like Saltburn vibes?
No, it's more scarier than that. It's more scarier than Don't Worry Darling and Saltburn, but it's more just like psychological, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was definitely disturbing. There was definitely moments where I was like, that's nasty.
More disturbing
than
But I'm
Saltburn? Not scared. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah. Weird stuff happening in that film, but like I wasn't scared. Scary. No, it's not. Yeah, Pearl wasn't scary to me. Like anything with like a female heroine, I'm not afraid of because I'm kind of like rooting for them.
Yeah,
but paranormal.
I think I struggle. See, I feel like I mean, I don't love paranormal because it's like like unknown.
Abstract.
Yeah, that it freaks me out a little bit more than something that could happen.
Yeah.
But I really don't do well, I feel like, with gore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really like horror in the gore sense. Like, obviously I watched Game of Thrones, and there's like some gore, like there's obviously a lot of gore in that. But I feel like I could almost tolerate that more than I can tolerate violence in like a murder way. But I love true crime. Like, I love true crime.
Like Scream.
Any
of that?
Yeah, any of that. Like, even like Bones and all, like, really made me feel kind of like just like
No, it's nasty. I was fine with that. It was definitely nasty.
It was nasty. Yeah. Like, I don't really like.
I just kind of turn off when that stuff is
happening.
I
don't like, or like gang violence.
Oh, I don't
movies.
Like that.
That stresses me out. Gang violence,
kidnapping, hate it.
There's a really good one with Amanda Seyfried called Gone. Have you seen it? Okay, underrated scary movie. I have only seen it the one time, and I saw it in theaters when it came out, 2012 probably, and I was, I think, in middle school. Basically, it's a kidnapping. The plot starts, I'm gonna tell you about it because it's so good.
I won't watch it.
The plot starts with, like, Amanda Seyfried, like, running through the woods, like, sprinting through the woods, and she, like, gets out, she escapes, she, like, goes to the police, and she's like, I was kidnapped, I was dropped in a hole in the middle of the woods. And they were like, no, you weren't. Like, no, you weren't. She had like, anxiety or something, and they were like, you're dreaming this up, like, totally gaslighting her. And she was like, no, I swear I was kidnapped, and I was dropped in a huge ditch in the middle of the woods, and I had to climb my way out of it. And they're like, that did not happen to you. And then she goes home, and then, like, 3 days later, her sister goes missing, and she's like, I know my kidnapper came back for me and took my sister instead. So the rest of the movie is her trying to, like, find her sister. And, like, there's a point where, like, in the movie, she's, like, back in the hole. And the hole is, like, 12 feet deep or something. And there's, like, other human, like, teeth and bones at the bottom of it. And she's, like, down there trying to get out of it while her kidnapper's, like, up on top.
Ew.
Yeah, really scary. So, but I would say, like, that's one of those ones where I'm like, that was
the really scary one that scarred me out of that entire genre is Megan is Missing. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Bro. Basically, it's like, it's like DIY films.
Oh, no.
Those are the worst.
Oh, like when it's like,
yeah.
When they're like, well, yeah. Oh, I hate those.
And, like, there's, like, cam footage.
Oh, no.
But this all sprouted from a girly sleepover in the fourth grade.
It always does that.
Some
always
girly
like
is always like, we should find a horror movie. And so we were just looking on Netflix, and we were going through, and somebody suggests Megan is Missing. We're all just like, fuck it, why not? The most graphic, like, disgusting things I have ever seen that I think have, like, they're up here, like, they're nasty, and I can't even believe that, like, that is just on a streaming service.
That's how I feel about that one
for children
German movie
to watch.
that I watched at Jenny's house that one time.
German movie.
That's the scariest horror movie I've ever seen. It was a German movie where it was like, it's an actual syndrome where people like some, they'll think that their family member is not real. Or, like, not their family member. So, like, this set of twins, their, like, mom goes to get some type of plastic surgery, and when she comes back, one of the twins is like, that's not our mom.
Oh.
And they spend the whole movie trying to, like, kill her, but in the most, like, violent ways. Like, they tried to set the house on fire while she was in it. They were, like, trying to cut her up. They were, like, doing all this, like, freaky stuff. Also, the whole thing was in German, and I, like, didn't know what was going on.
The scariest thing about Megan is Missing, besides the graphic stuff, is, like, the slow, uncut, just footage of the kidnapper, his process of, like, what he's doing after he kidnaps her, just, like, not cut it, like, it's like raw, all the sounds and everything is still there. It's like very like 30 minutes of him like digging a hole into the ground and, like, putting her in a barrel and then, like, putting the barrel underground and
that's
and
scary. I don't know.
It's like not cut. There's no, like, quick jumps or anything. It's like an uncut video put together like
I feel like there's, like, a very fine line between what I do and don't like, because I'm like, I loved Haunting of Hill House. Like, I think that like, of the scary genres or, like, scary types of media, I thought that one was really phenomenal. Like, obviously I was scared, but it was, like, the good kind of scared.
Yeah.
And, like, I love, like, A Pretty Little Liars, which is, like, so unserious, but, like, kind of stressful. Like, stressful, scary, like, kidnapping, etc., etc. I love a true crime documentary, true crime story, like, so into all of those. But yeah, there's, like, a fine line.
It was so off,
things
especially
that to get freaked
just
out
the camera. the way the camera was situated, like the camera's just like always kind of on the floor, and
Like sideways.
you can only see like a corner of what's happening, and you kind of have to infer the rest of it based off of like what you're
worse,
hearing.
you know?
Yeah, it's awful. I hate it.
Ugh. I
Cancel.
just remember playing Slenderman too, like as a
Do you play Bloody Mary?
Oh yeah, like I hated that.
Yeah,
too.
I didn't like that
I
one.
hated that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I still, to this day, I'm scared to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I
Really?
hate going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I hate getting out of my bed when it's dark.
Really?
Which is why I'm so glad that Google Home exists. Which I would like to thank our sponsor today, Google Home.
Google Home, thank you for
Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I
Yay.
love Google Home because I can turn on my light from my phone, and then when I turn on my light from my phone, then I can come out into the little hallway, and then I can turn on that light, and then I can
it's
turn on
also
the light
an
in my
incredible
bathroom.
speaker.
And then I can get to the bathroom with all the lights on, and I'm not freaked out.
Exactly.
But if I have a nightmare in the middle of the night and I can't
I'm
turn
not
my
moving.
light on, I'm not moving. I'm
Especially if
paralyzed.
it's a nightmare. Oh yeah.
Paralyzed.
The sleep paralysis demons.
Fight or flight, neither. Just
I don't care if somebody's watching me in the corner. I'm not figuring out what's over
not
there.
trying to
I'm like
look.
staying under my covers and I'm
not
like
trying
pretending
to
like
look.
it's not there.
I'm not trying to
like I'm
look.
going back to bed.
Dude, that shit scares me. Nothing scares me more than like the concept, like the thought of someone watching me sleep.
Yeah.
I would say that has to be like one of the top things. Like whenever I read a true crime story and it's like someone woke up in the middle of the night and someone's like or like someone's like standing in their doorway watching them.
Yeah.
Shit scares
Bella
me.
Swan, how did you do it?
Dude, and she was like, girl,
She's like, I miss him.
be serious. Why is he in your room?
He's watching you sleep, my girl.
No.
I can't.
Oh god, so many shenanigans as like so many scary things as like a teen that I liked to do. I wanted to talk about cyberbullying
Oh yeah.
as another thing that teens would do for fun.
Yeah. Did you cyberbully?
Did I cyberbully? Honestly, I don't really think I did. I feel like I was actually part of the anti-bullying committee. in
You
middle
give
school.
cyberbully. You give subtweeter, that's cyberbullying.
Oh, I was definitely a subtweeter.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? But I wasn't like. It wasn't bully. I don't think it was like bullying.
Okay, yeah, true. Like adding somebody.
It was more subtweeting.
Yeah.
Like if someone did something, I used to be a very confrontational
I love
person.
reading subtweets.
Like I loved, oh god, in high school when like your feed was actually chronological
It was subtweets,
and someone could say something and like you would know exactly who they were talking about. I kind of miss that. Like
or like somebody's like, OOMF just did this today.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I just like obviously like don't bully, but I'm also kind of like I love a little bit of like online teasing. Like when I see someone acting up on TikTok, someone acting weird on TikTok, and all the comments are people dragging them, I actually think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think cyberbullying is funny. I'm pro cyberbullying.
we should be making fun of those people.
We need to be
some
bullying
people are
people.
posting some weird stuff.
People
They
need to be
do need to
bullied.
be clocked.
People do need to. I think people are better off when they're bullied.
Yeah, they need to be
become better
self-aware.
adults. Mm-hmm.
They need to know what they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let that slide.
I agree. No,
Anyways.
yeah. The movie though, Cyberbully with Emily Osment. I remember we did a lock-in in 8th grade, and it was I think the ABC Club, the anti-bullying committee put it on, and we watched Cyberbully as one of the movies. I think we watched Cyberbully and Mean Girls, which honestly,
Whoa.
crazy double feature.
Yeah.
But that's when like cyberbullying was like really frowned upon, and people were like telling people to like themselves, which that I don't really condone. I don't really condone that kind of
No.
cyberbullying. That's crazy. But the kind of like making fun of people online, I'm laughing.
TikTok comments specifically.
They're funny. I'm not participating. I'm not saying any of that stuff, but like y'all keep it up because I'm entertained. Did you do cyberbullying? Are you a cyberbully?
No, I wasn't really online. I didn't post very often. I didn't tweet very often. When I tweeted, it was like very intentional, and it was
Wow.
mostly replying to people or like retweeting stuff that I liked. But I rarely posted statuses on Facebook.
Oh,
Rarely
big on-
tweeted anything.
Oh, Ask FM.
Rarely. I posted on Instagram. No, I didn't have an Ask FM. Rarely posted on Instagram, but when I did, it was like I posted more often. I posted like as often as I do now. Yeah,
on Instagram?
back then. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how my Twitter feed at that time, like, or my personal tweets at that time would have been like subtweeting someone, but then like 100 like One Direction People's Choice Awards tweets.
Yeah.
Or
I
like,
know. I want to go through my Twitter archive actually because like I think
how many tweets do you have?
I was tweeting very
Frequently?
No, not
no, yeah, you said infrequently.
I was tweeting just very random stuff. It was just like
I have 18,000 tweets. So
I
I'll never be able to go back and look at that.
3.8K.
Like you could go back and look.
Yeah.
I can't.
Which I think there is an archive where you can click which month and year
you
want to look at. Yeah.
That I would like to do. Because I kind of miss, I don't really remember what the subtweeting in high school was all about. But I know that it happened.
My friends were subtweeting each other and I knew exactly what was going on.
Oh god, it's just such an entertaining time.
But also there was a girl in high school that, she will not be named. She added our principal when something was going wrong at the school. Basically,
I added the school district once when
yeah,
we didn't get a snow day.
And then the principal deleted her Twitter right as that happened. Like right after it happened, the account was
that
no
didn't
longer
happen. I was joking. I was playing around.
Yeah.
But I was like, at SCSDOH, why don't we have a snow day today?
Yeah. Did they delete their account?
No, I think it's still.
I got called to the principal's office in high school because I tweeted a bad word at a school convention thing.
From your personal account?
Yeah, from my personal account.
That wasn't allowed?
It wasn't allowed because we were in student council, so we had to set an example. But it was me and 2 other people where we went to this like student council convention, and it was like Spirit Week. It was like country themed, and we posted pictures with the country theme, and we did a hashtag yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, which I'm like. And I retweeted it, and I'm supposed to set an example. So, like, our superintendent was like, or like vice principal was looking at who retweeted it and like called in everybody that was in student council that retweeted this photo. And the person that did tweet the photo, we all got called into the office, and she sat us down and she was like, why did you guys do this? Like,
girl,
why do you care? I'm grown. I'm 16 years old.
16 years old.
Like, I'm grown. Like, I'm allowed to say this.
I'm allowed to say
have thoughts. I'm allowed to, like, retweet things. Like, you're taking away my first right. Okay? This is a free country.
That's crazy. That's honestly hilarious.
So, I can't say yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Also, I didn't even tweet it. I retweeted it.
Those aren't even your words.
I was just co-signing.
Yeah.
So... messed up. But yeah, they were watching our Twitters. Isn't that weird?
That is
like,
weird.
You should, if you're a teacher, you should kind of like stay out of your
business. Yeah, we had a whole thing where it was like you weren't allowed to like you weren't allowed to follow. Your teachers were not allowed to follow you.
No.
Like until you graduated.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because it was kind of like your online persona is like separate from who you are.
Right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
In a sense anyways.
Yeah. It should be. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
not
it's
now,
my
but in high
personal
school.
life. Like, I don't want y'all to know.
You guys don't need to know.
You don't need to know all that.
But I think because it was a school function, they thought they had.
So the photo was at the school function?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the photo was at the school function. We were dressed up for the school function.
Right.
It was like hashtag my high school name and hashtag.
Oh, right. Which the added context.
The girl that tweeted that, love you for that. Like, you're cool for that.
The added context there definitely adds a little something to the mix.
Yeah. And then this one bitch that did me wrong in middle school, I will not name her either, but she did me wrong in middle school, and me and my bestie took it to ourselves to hack her Kik account and talk to this guy that she was talking to and pretend like we were her. We didn't say anything crazy, but like, she was spreading rumors about me. Like, she was saying things to other people that I had no business being a part of. Like, I wasn't a part of this narrative.
It's just crazy because I feel like we are genuinely, like, the first people to have been, like, online at that age where you're not really there.
No.
Because, like, obviously, they're, like, the millennials above us were online, like they were on MySpace and stuff, but I feel like it wasn't the same as when we were online.
No.
Because ours was definitely more like toxic.
Yeah, we were like out for blood. So if you're gonna do me wrong, I'm gonna do something wrong to your account since I have your password, since you trust me so much. Since like I'm such a good friend to you.
That's crazy.
Like, so I'm gonna log into your account and I'm gonna say something to somebody that you're talking to right now.
The internet is crazy. I just like can't believe what we were all up to.
Whatever.
Just like being online.
I obviously wouldn't do that today.
No,
I don't regret what I did.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I did as a teenager that I'm like, girl.
Like, what do you like? Take a step back.
Like, relax.
Please, like, read a book. Read the like Magic
do
Treehouse
anything
books
else
or something.
Do anything else.
Yeah.
But I don't
Go
regret
watch
it.
SpongeBob.
I don't regret it because I look back and I'm like, sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Weird. Be careful.
Be careful online.
Be careful where you tread.
With that being said, I would not let my kids online until they're probably
dude.
I think 13 feels, 13 is too young, but I also feel like I feel like I grew because I was online. I feel like I became more.
Have you ever been to detention?
No, I've never really been in trouble.
Or got in trouble with anybody, teachers, or just weird drama with teachers?
No, I've never gotten in trouble.
Wait, wasn't there's a teacher that you didn't like in elementary school?
Yeah, but I never got in trouble.
Yeah, she was just weird.
I'm really scared of authority. I honestly have not really been in trouble ever. The only time I remember, there was one time where I had to go to the vice principal's office, but it was because I was putting in a complaint about being bullied. So I wasn't in trouble,
Yeah.
I was
they were just trying to get more information.
I was somebody needs to be in trouble for how they're treating me.
Yeah, yeah.
We're fine now.
All love.
All my love, but weird behavior.
What's wrong?
8th grade is just a weird time. You're just kind of I don't know, just a weird time.
It was all a blur. It was all jokes.
All laughs. Everything was jokes.
Yeah, no,
but sometimes it did feel personal.
Joking.
I feel like that was the one time where I was this doesn't feel like a joke anymore.
Really?
Where it started off as kind of ha ha ha, and then I was kind of
yeah. Nobody
this
was
is
ever
not
mean
funny
to me
anymore.
Which is very nice when I think back. Nobody has ever treated me wrong. I think in all of school, I don't, except for the girl that I hacked.
Yeah.
Which I paid back. So
no,
then nobody ever treated me wrong ever again.
I don't know. People were well, I had the one instance in middle school where I was I thought we were friends and this doesn't feel like a joke anymore. Yeah. I feel my feelings are hurt. And then in high school, I was annoying. I was annoying as a freshman, and there were definitely upperclassmen who didn't like me. Oh. And I was a little bit scared of that because I was oh, I was just being fun.
Yeah, I was just
being a girl.
Being a freshman.
I was just being a freshman. I was just being fun. I was just spirit board means a lot to me, okay? Let me pick the themes. But definitely I was ooh, I don't really like this vibe.
I was definitely seen as oh, Gloria's so fun, she's so nice. Just a nice girl.
If you and I were friends in high school, I would love to know what word you would use to describe me at that time. Because I feel like it's not. I feel like it's just
I would be
really
oh,
who I am today. For you personally?
I don't think we'd be close. Or maybe we would, because we were, yeah.
Well, I feel like we'd be in the same world almost.
Yeah, no, because we have
the same interests.
Yeah. No, true. I don't know. You would have fun in my friend group.
I definitely would have had fun in your friend group.
We were having fun.
I definitely would have had fun in your friend group.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn between thinking that I'm less awful than I remember myself as, but sometimes when I think back,
yeah, are you making yourself more of a villain than it actually was?
I think so.
Yeah,
because I actually don't feel like I was disliked.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think I was disliked. I just feel like I was a little bit more defensive than I am today.
Yeah.
With that being said, I feel like I'm a bit of a doormat today. Yeah. So maybe I was just defending myself the proper amount at that time.
I see.
I was just maybe a little bit more confrontational. I didn't really let people walk all over me. I would say now if I'm
I didn't do that. Yeah.
If somebody's upsetting me now, I'm just kind of alright, that's fine. But at the time, if someone was upsetting me, I was
yeah,
yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or I'd be on Twitter this bitch did this.
Yeah. No, I definitely didn't let anybody walk all over me. That never really happened. But also, nobody really.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't feel like people walked all over me, but only because I was defensive from the jump. I don't think there was anyone who was trying to walk all over me because I was don't try me.
Interesting.
Before anyone tried me. So.
Yeah, for no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah. I see.
It was when I painted my nails black and that time.
Oh yeah. I was wearing flowers and shit.
I don't know. Someone who was friends with me in high school is gonna have to say what they thought I was like. I mean, there's I'll have to.
I know. Yeah. We need to break this down.
I'll ask Eleanor and
Rachel. And can Eleanor send can you text her to send a voice memo so you can play it or something?
No, yeah. Because I'm I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that feels the same as I was.
I'm gonna ask Jasmine.
I'm gonna send, let me send her a voice memo right now.
Yeah.
Glow and I are filming an episode of Video Hotline right now, and we're talking about what we were like in high school. And in my head, I feel like I'm kind of like, I feel like I think back on myself as a bit of a villain, because I'm like, oh, I was so defensive and like, I don't know. But how would you describe me in high school? Because I definitely think I was more confrontational, but like, I don't know, I don't remember being disliked, so I don't know. Send back a voice memo of what my personality was like in high school. Like, how would you describe me? How would other people describe me? How was I perceived, etc., etc. Also, I know you'll have an unbiased opinion being external from my friend group and being older, so like maybe you'd have like a more holistic view of what I was like. Eleanor was in my
texted back, she said, LMAO.
Jasmine?
I said, if you have a second, can you send back a voice memo of how I was in high school? LMAO. Like, what was I like?
Yeah, no, because
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, basically, because I don't really know.
Yeah, no, same, but like, we need third parties.
Yeah, I need someone.
But if I had to guess, I think Jasmine would say that I was like very complacent and just like Switzerland, just their vibe.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of who you would have been like in my friend group.
Yeah.
Like how you would have fit into mine. I'm not sure, because I do think we would run in the same circles, and I think we would have been in the same friend group, because we both would have been in student council.
Yeah.
We both would have been into like One Direction, the 1975, like artsy creative Instagram, being online. But I wonder if I would have been too much. Like, I don't really know.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because the people that I were friends with, I wouldn't say like nobody was ever like, whatever you're saying is too much is. Like, we're all chill. Like, we're all very
I can't really think of you in my friend group either, because I'm like, you feel separate from it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you would fit into like my like Fab Four, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Like, would we have just been like concert goer friends?
Probably,
together?
yeah, we probably would have been concert regulars. Like, it
Concerts,
probably would have stayed separate.
And then we would have done like student council and stuff together.
Yeah.
Like, spirit board, football games. I'm sure you would have like spent the night and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like we probably would have been in classes. Well, we would have been in classes together, and like we'd probably do assignments together.
Yeah, like all the.
So then at that
stuff.
point, I'm like, aren't you kind of in
right?
a friend
Like,
group?
wouldn't we be? We
like
would be
friends.
doing it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all those classes, we'd have the same schedule.
I feel like I just have a hard time picturing you like with my other friends, because I'm like, I don't know if you would rock with like that group.
Yeah. I mean, if I grew up there, I would have to, I would have had to. And with my personality, I wouldn't have known anything else, so like I would have made it work.
Yeah.
That's true. So, yeah, not too sure.
I know. I'm eager to hear what Eleanor says back.
Yeah. But no, okay. Yeah. I wasn't really afraid of authority. I mean, I was in elementary school, but I wasn't in high school.
You weren't afraid of authority. I don't know, like I was someone who was like, I loved my teachers, and I knew my teachers liked me, so I could like push some buttons.
Yeah.
Like, I could definitely like dick around a little bit and like be kind of like hee hee ha ha, but I feel like it was because I was a good student.
Yeah.
Like, I could kind of like,
I got away with things. I left early
in
multiple situations because I I got good grades.
Yeah.
They could trust me. They would think like, oh, she's not going anywhere crazy. And I wasn't.
And I mean, honestly, in the grand scheme of things,
crazy.
like, I wasn't doing anything.
I just wanted to go home. Like, I want to go home early. Like, I drove here, so I'm gonna drive home.
Yeah.
I don't have to be here anymore.
I wasn't getting into like trouble.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely was afraid of authority. I wasn't like pushing the boundaries so far that I was going to get in actual trouble. It was more like,
no, never.
It was more like I wanted to have like banter with my teachers. Like, I kind of wanted to like have fun.
Yeah, not true.
Jokes.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like kind of like in class, like, can we not do that today?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah, no.
Like, I would always do stuff like that. But the teachers would kind of be like,
sure, what she said.
Yeah.
We had one of my algebra teachers in high school. Jasmine's crazy for this. Like, she won't care that I'm talking about her. Props to her. She was doing us a favor.
Honestly, when you talk about Jasmine in high school, I feel like I would have been a Jasmine type.
Yeah.
So I think like we would have been fine.
Yeah. She was doing us a favor, so we walk into algebra. Mr. Sir is up there. This is test day. Like, we all knew this was the test day. This has been on the schedule for weeks. This was like a midterm situation. It was a serious test. We walk into algebra. We're all sitting down. Jasmine's in the front. And like, front and center, right in front of Mr. O. We'll call him Mr. O. And she's just like, he's like presenting like as he's about to like pass out the tests and stuff like that. And she's just like, Mr. O, I don't think any of us are ready. Like, I don't think we should take this right now. And then she's like, right guys? Like,
No,
right guys?
did that.
And everyone's like,
Precisely.
yeah, we're not ready. And then Mr. O is just like, he's kind of very, he's pretty passive. Like, he kind of was like so chill. And he was kind of just there with his papers and he was kind of like, oh. Like, is that true? Like, is that true, guys? Like, is that real? And then we're all just like, yeah! Like, none of us are ready. We're all gonna fail. Like, all of our grades are gonna be bad. Like, you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. And he was just like, okay. Test is on Monday.
Wait, this reminds me of the time in 8th grade where in my social studies class, all of us did really poorly on an exam or like on a test, I think, and my grade was gonna drop to a B+. And keep in mind, like, I graduated college having never gotten any B's. Like, it was A- or higher, always. Like, I genuinely did not get less than that. And I remember in 8th grade, I told Mr. A, we'll call him, that I was like, I can't get a B+. Like, I can't get a B. Like, my parents, like, I will be in so much trouble with my parents. Like, they'll disown me. They'll ship me off. Like, I can't get a B in this class. Like, I need an A-. And he, like, curved the test so that so I got an A-. And,
Oh
like,
my God.
everyone's test got curved.
Jasmine sent me her voice memo.
Oh my God.
Wait till she sent
Till
hers.
yeah, okay.
Do we think she's gonna respond
I think she will.
within?
What is today? Thursday? Let me
Mm-hmm.
see where she's at. Let me check her phone. Let me check my friends. I think she will.
Oh wait, yeah, the way that Jasmine's describing herself in this like preview.
She's home. She's probably like in the shower or something. I haven't seen
Okay.
it yet, so.
I'll just play mine right now,
Okay.
and then we'll play yours when we have it.
Maybe play it loud.
Yeah, so how you were in high school, let's think. You were definitely, I just remember you being so freaking nice. And like high school for me at least was more unhinged. Like I was really
That was
mean
Jasmine.
and like just like snappy because I was sleep deprived and overworked. I do remember the way you were just so nice. Like it was crazy to me. Like it was just insane. Like I just remember this one time I have this vivid memory of us like trying to get out of the school, and all these kids just like came in front of you, like in front of your car, and I was like, Gloria, just like beep at them to get out of the way. You were like, I can't do that, that's mean. And I was about to beep at them for you, but you were like, no. And later on we talked about it, and you were like, we were talking about why you're so nice, and I remember one of the reasons was because of the election, like student government election. Like that was in your mind, like constantly making sure that you were like had a good enough reputation to win the election.
I was thinking. I forgot about that.
Damn. Not this
Priorities.
in our lives. But anyways, I do remember that. I remember when we watched that one movie. What was that one movie called? The two girls that were like really smart, ended up going to like fucking Yale or
Book
something,
smart.
but never partied in their life until
Book
like
smart.
the last week of fucking high school. And I remember it being like, that's us. Because I really think we didn't start partying until like later in high school. I think
Later.
we like dipped our toes junior year with like Roel and Caleb. And like hang out with them, and like, but really we didn't really like party until I want to say all the senior year activities, I think at least.
True.
But yeah, so like the girls from that, what is it called? Book Smart, yeah.
Yup.
That's the name of the movie.
Yup, that's
so
me.
Every time I watch that movie, I think that's us. Like I literally like that is us.
It was us.
Like,
yeah.
everything they did, I'm like, yeah.
I feel like I was AAA
Like,
without
like,
the
so
sled.
mean. Like that was so mean.
Yeah.
So yeah. But also you had your Tumblr girl era too. That was another big one I forgot about. Yeah, you were very like Tumblr girly.
Tumblr.
You were very much into the trends. Like you were a trendsetter. That was another thing.
Oh my God.
You definitely
Wow.
were up with the trends. Like you were doing your research. You were one of the Twitter girls, one of the Tumblr girls. You were ahead of it. Like, I remember you were setting the trends, like, because I was like, oh, what the latest trends, just look at what Gloria's wearing. You didn't even know. That's another thing that I do remember.
That's nice.
Yeah. On like another side note, I'm trying to think of other things, but I do just remember you being really nice, which now you're just different. Like, now I feel like you know how to set a boundary.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was nice for too long.
I wonder what you said,
I'm trying to think of what other things. Yeah, you were also just still really organized. I remember that. I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, like, you were also really into one direction, and you remember this. And you had your, like, you were a stan, and you were one of those people. Yeah, like, you were like the Tumblr girls, the trendsetters. I think, like, Monica said it once, like, when we last saw each other, and I was like, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Like, you were up in the trends. Like, that's what
Gonna say. I guess I am fashionable. Me the other day being like, I can't dress myself. I can't do anything. Like, I'm nothing. My clothes are ugly.
You've been up in the trends.
But I've been not in practice.
She's been working.
Years.
No, you've been working. You've been
Anyways,
working.
okay, that's me. Wait, let me make sure this doesn't cut you off. Can I start this over?
Yeah. This is about house.
50% high school.
This will be good for she's still sending another one, so hopefully it'll send.
Okay. Just play the
yeah. Okay,
first one and then pretty sure the second one.
I'm scared because I don't really know. I don't really know what this is gonna be like.
Okay. Wow, this took me like a few minutes to think about. So I would say that if I were an outsider looking in, taking myself kind of out of the situation, but also with the knowledge of being your friend, I think that you were definitely viewed as someone who would be like defensive for your friends or like confrontational for your friends, but not for yourself. Like, I think that there was a place for you in every single friend group, and you liked having the pull of every kind of like every space in that friend group, because there were like the girls, and then there were the guys, and then there was like the one-offs, kind of randos, like all of those weirdos, but you were like you were just always friends with them. So I think it was like you were the person who was like friends with everybody, and you would like not take sides. However, you always called people out on their bullshit. However, when it came to you, it was like, yeah, whatever, like you could like walk all over me, it's fine. Like, I do think that you would go to bat for people, but like not do it for yourself.
Wow.
Okay. That's
Loyal.
actually, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better than I feel like I see myself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Like, being defensive for your friends, that's real. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that's still like a character trait. Like, I am ride or die. As in like ride or die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn. Yeah. We would get along.
I think we would have
Yeah.
gotten along.
Yeah.
I think we would have. Yeah. We would have gotten along.
That's true.
We probably would have shared a lot of the same opinions about different people in the group, and then you and I would have gone off in our little corner and been like,
dude, death. Like the two bitches that always like give each other the look
No,
whenever something weird is happening.
Like, because we probably would have been very like chill. Like, everyone would have I would hope that everyone would like us.
Yeah.
Externally, because we would be like, oh, like, yeah,
yes,
whatever,
like,
oh, cute, like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then we'd go home and be like,
listen to this. Yeah.
Can you believe? I was thinking, also recently, off the topic of high school, but kind of still in this, like, I don't know, this kind of world and, like, where we fit into place. I think we have, like, a little bit of, like, minus the big little actual part of it, I do feel like we have, like, big sister, little sister syndrome a little bit. Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't have a sister, so I don't really know what this is. I don't really know what it's like.
Yeah.
But I have been being fed TikToks recently where it's like they know on the algorithm that I'm the older sister, and then I have a little sister who's like, you're so annoying. Yeah. And that's all I'm seeing right now.
No, and we just spend way too much time with each other. We're like, you are gonna annoy me.
And I'm like,
and you will know. And I'm gonna annoy you, and you will know.
But like,
and unfortunately, that's the truth. And I can't really mask it anymore.
It's funny to me because I'm seeing all of these older sisters being like, yeah, my little sister can't stand me. She says I'm annoying so like all the time, and I'm just like begging to hang out with her. But like we didn't have the youth part where like you're obsessed with me.
Yeah.
And like, because I feel like that's a big part of the relationship. Where like when your little sister is obsessed with you growing up and like wants to copy you and like wants to hang out with your friends and like take your clothes and whatnot. Like we didn't have that.
Yeah.
But we've already gone straight into the like, I'm standing
That
at
might
your
have
door
been
like,
college.
Hey.
That might have been college because I viewed you as like a big sister then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now we're just like sisters. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm in the doorway like, hey, want to hang out? And you're like, go away. It's crazy. It's like those ones that's like, my sister texts me like a guy who's uninterested in me. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like, oh my god, like look at let me tell you this like really cool thing, and you're like, LOL.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
That's it? That's all you have to say?
Weird.
Yeah. Weird.
Which is funny because I feel like my brothers are no longer like that. Like I feel like my brothers and I have progressed actually into adult relationship now.
Yeah, me and Gina have.
Where like I called Derek the other night and then we like had a whole conversation, and then at the end he was like, thanks so much for calling, it was good to catch up.
Yeah,
Talk to you. And I was
so
like,
formal.
oh,
Like,
oh,
thanks
we're
so much
wrong.
for calling.
You're welcome, I guess.
Might as well put a suit and tie on. Like, I can say that and carry a briefcase around.
Shake your hand doesn't leave the conversation.
What do you want, $20? Like, holy shit.
Whoa. So formal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we've bridged into
Yeah, no, we just, I
that
think like
territory.
we kind of spend like a lot of time together to where it's like
kind of like unavoidable.
little bit blurry.
Because I like, who else
I know
am
we
gonna
work
hang
from
out with?
home. Yeah, I know, true.
Yeah. Like,
No one else is
I don't really
around.
want to. Well, I mean, I do. There are
Yeah,
people I want to
there
hang out, but like
and they're
you're
just
here.
far away.
You're
yeah,
here. Like,
that's true.
Who else am I
The
gonna
in
bug?
proximity. Okay, I feel like we should get into our things. Okay, my things of the week. I'm just gonna say that the song intro of My Everything, Ariana Grande, fixating on that. I'm kind of almost upset that it's called intro because it's way too good of a song. And also the entire album of My Everything, which I talked about in the previous episode, like I'm gonna have to talk about it again because I'm almost like, this might be better than Dangerous Woman right now for me. I'm scared. I don't think it is, like Dangerous Woman will always take the cake, but right now
I'm a
like,
My Everything stan. So
yeah.
I'm there.
Right now I'm teetering. Food, crispy rice. My random thing is long-haired dachshunds. I love little wiener dogs.
Okay.
I love little long-haired blonde wiener dogs. I like seeing them walk around when I'm outside. So.
Okay. Music-wise, I just am really excited for Lizzie McAlpine's album. I'm loving both the singles that are out right now, and it doesn't come out for 2 weeks, but like I'm really loving it. Also, by the time this goes live, I think I'm going to be saying I'm obsessed with Olivia Rodrigo Deluxe.
Yeah.
I will say, having already heard them, Scared of My Guitar is definitely like the one for me. Like I love that one, and I had it saved on TikTok. Like I saved a video that it was posted on TikTok so that I could listen to it, and I would just like play the video over and over again so that I could hear it. So that for sure. Yeah, that's kind of,
Yeah, I'm putting Olivia's album on mine too.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't heard it, it's not out yet, but
I'm not really fixating on too much right now. I realized that I was doing my White Boy of the Week Wrapped last night because I was behind on a couple weeks, and I was like, oh, my obsessive tendencies have kind of like, they're kind of relaxed at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I'm not really obsessed with anything in the way that I normally am. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Haunted House High School episode.